Well, good evening, everyone. This is Keith with Positively Osceola, and I am here, another one of our coffee club moments here on a Sunday evening here with Dirk Webb, the man with a cup. And if you don't know Dirk, Dirk being the president and CEO at the St. Cloud Chamber of Commerce. And so we'll just kind of warm up a little bit. How you doing tonight?
Doing all right. How about you?
Doing great. You know, a little bit of rain, so had an excuse to sit around and kind of just veg out a little bit, do some work, and chill back a slight bit. I guess that's sometimes part of what Sunday's for, right?
Right.
So you got some rain where you were, huh?
It rained pretty hard here, coming sideways, and darn near drowned my wife. So
shopping, you meant?
That's right.
All right, make sure you put that out there. So we should just go for it, I guess, here on a Sunday. We'll give the folks a quick coffee club moment tonight. And so here we go. I'll play the official startup. Makes me want to drink more coffee. I don't know why.
Yeah, that intro is pretty cool. I like that.
It's way cooler than I am. I can guarantee you that. And that's not hard to do.
Same here.
I'm telling you. So why don't you just tell everybody? You know, I mentioned you're the president, CEO of the St. Cloud Chamber of Commerce, and you know, Positively Osceola is a part of that organization. We're honestly super glad to be and have been for a number of years. Maybe somebody doesn't know what a Chamber of Commerce does. So if somebody like that has popped in tonight, we are excited that they get to hear. Why don't you describe, you know, what the Chamber of Commerce does for the community?
All right. So the Chamber, St. Cloud in particular, we're a group of businesses that come together based on membership, and we obviously talk about business topics, but our job is to advocate for the local business. It's also to help you network and get your story out. A lot of times with advertising, you know, we may spend a bundle. I'm not saying anything against any other kind of advertising. It's just that a lot of times the messages we're trying to get caught up in a lot of white noise. And we can kind of help cut through that through our different channels, especially with face-to-face networking.
Yeah, well said. You know, I'm a big proponent for you know, the digital side of marketing. The social media. We're big fans. That's how we speak to our audiences. We're blessed to be able to do that. But I think we know probably maybe more than a bunch of folks that what you said is totally spot on. With the increased abilities to use technology, I think sometimes it can get very noisy, and then when you come back down, you know, some things have not changed, and that is that the connection you can make with other businesses, other organizations, is huge. I think it's more important now maybe than ever, and the learning scenario for us has been big. You know, we've been able to learn so much from other people, other businesses, how they conduct their business models and such. It's just a huge thing, and so we're you know, glad to be a part of what you're doing, a small part of what you're doing for sure. So one of the reasons we're here is to talk about an event coming up. Why don't I be quiet and let you do that?
Yeah, thank you, Keith. And first of all, thanks for having me on here. We always enjoy working with Positively Osceola, and I like the way you do look at news from a positive standpoint, letting us all know the great things that are happening in our area. So what we want to talk about tonight then is September 19th at OHP. Mm-hmm. The Chamber will be having its annual banquet. Now, what makes it different this year? Normally, it's an awards banquet. So we look at all the member businesses, and we will say you're the best of this, and this business is the best of that, and we hand out awards. Well, we all understand that 2020 is a year unlike any we've ever seen. And it seemed a little strange to look at each other and say, okay, you're the best business, I'm the best business. No, we've all been pulling together this year to try to pull our community through this. And so this year's annual banquet, as you'll see here on the screen, is all about celebrating community, to the point that we've asked our friends from Guardian Ad Litem to come and be a part of this. They're a great organization for children, and normally they have a wonderfully successful and highly attended gala, and their board decided not to do that this year. So we reached out to them. We think the children are so important. We asked them to come and be a part of this, and we wanted to help them raise some money when they might not be able to.
I mentioned earlier before we went live, it's I've always loved the annual banquet. I think typically businesses and organizations, if you run your own business, if you're a small business, which most people are, you're working some mega hours. You typically are. You're working for your brand, trying to grow your business and be part of the community. And the banquet always seems like an awesome time to be able to look across the room and see people you haven't frequently seen because they're doing the same thing you are. Food's always great. Fellowship is always, awesome. But as you said, this year, much more complicated in so many different ways. But I think maybe that makes it even more important to meet. I know there's challenges. So why don't you discuss how that's going to look this year a little bit? Do you mind?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Matter of fact, we've had some folks that have said, what are you thinking? How can we possibly do this? Well, we've had a golf outing that's been scheduled and canceled. We've had a business expo that's been scheduled and canceled. 4th of July came and went. Yeah. We were looking at this event and saying, we really do need something to celebrate each other. And so if you're, thinking about this and thinking, I'm not so sure, we get it. We understand that. But some of the things that we're doing, so in years past, there's been 10 to a table. We're cutting down to 8 to a table. I understand that's probably not perfect, but it's a little better. We're moving the tables a little further from each other. There will be masks available, hand sanitizer available, temperature checks available. And so what we're hoping to tell you is that we're taking the same precautions that you would see elsewhere. And we're hoping that you'll come and feel comfortable with us that evening, have a good time. We've got some really interesting things lined up. There's going to be a casino area where you can come and contribute in some other ways. We've got a special donation by one of the Guardian Ad Litem kids, if you will. I think some art that they do that is going to be auctioned off in a live auction. We're also going to have a pretty substantial silent auction where we will be dividing the income with Guardian Ad Litem and helping them. Now, also, if you're interested in a corporate table, those go for $1,000. Mm-hmm. You might say, well, that's a little pricey. Well, 200 of that will actually be donated. The sponsorships, I think I messed that up. So $1,000 for the table. There are some sponsorships available that start at $1,500, and of those, $200 will go to the Chamber Foundation, which helps to fund scholarships for traditional students as well as adult students. I think I fouled that up to begin with, but I got it straightened out there.
So another thing that happens at the annual banquet, I know this is the official meeting, so it's part of what has to basically happen for the chamber anyway, right?
Right. Yeah, we have to have an annual business meeting. Yeah.
Sure. And then, so this year's chair has been George Sterner, if I'm right, and
right way. Mm-hmm.
Good man. And then Raylene Ketchum is going to be, they'll be passing the gavel to Raylene, also an awesome business person in the community. So What other things can we look forward to? And I should point out, it's also one of our favorite venues. We love Osceola Heritage Park.
Yeah.
I don't want to overtalk you on this because I'm glad you're here tonight, but that brought me a lot of solace, to be honest with you. My wife and I are going to be at the event for sure. We wouldn't miss it, but having it at Osceola Heritage Park, what a great thing. Super place, a lot of room. They pay such a great attention to safety. I was just at the Meekum auto auctions they had for 3 days this past, just a few days, the last 3 days. And they do a phenomenal job as far as security and safety and what's going on these days. But anything else you want to share about the event?
Well, yeah, I agree with you. Rob Larson and his staff there at OHP just do a phenomenal job. It is a world-class facility. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And so we're definitely looking forward to being there. Some of the other things, these events, as I said in the previous recording that I did with you, Keith, I think a lot of us, though, are over it. We're looking for ways to get together, but to get together safely.
Right.
And not jeopardize anyone else. So during the course of the meeting, we're going to make every effort to hold the business part and the speeches down, and then turn everybody loose to kind of have good food. Your food will be served to you. It will not be a buffet line this year,
Okay.
so you don't have to worry about that as well. Your cups will be covered. So all those things will be attended to as well. Abigail Huang, I believe that's how you pronounce her name, is going to perform on the piano during registration and reception time. And we're looking for, I think she's 9 years old, going to perform on the piano. And so, there's a lot of fun things to look at. It's going to be a nice dress-up evening when there hasn't been a lot of opportunity for that this year.
Right. So if somebody's hearing this tonight or they see some of the other promotion leading towards the event, how does somebody reach out to the chamber and say, look, I want my business to be a part of this? And is it just for chamber members, or it can be non-chamber members looking to find out more about the organization?
Yeah, this year, especially with the participation of Guardian Ad Litem, we're opening this wide open to the public. Everybody is welcome to join us. So go to the chamber website, stcloudflchamber.com, and right there, front and center, you can't miss it. I mean, it's just right there in your face is the invitation. You can click on that and register, or you can call the chamber. The number is there on the website as well.
Yeah.
And register there. The tickets are $100. And remember, part of that's going toward these kids. Part of the evening is going toward the kids. And then there are still some corporate tables left and some sponsorships left.
So I felt like I should say this. Like I said, I'm once again over talking the moment here, but I've got to think that with the term you keep hearing during these uncertain times, well, they are uncertain times, but they're specifically, I think, puzzling, challenging, and uncertain for small businesses and organizations. I cannot think of a time more appropriate, more important to reach out to learn those things that maybe a business doesn't know already, how to possibly get through the challenges that exist now that simply have not been here before. I can't think of a better time to look to an organization like the St. Cloud Chamber of Commerce to be there as an advocate. So how does somebody, because I mean, sometimes I think we're part of organizations and we think people get it, how they join. So anything else they need to know about joining the chamber? This would be probably a great way to get to know the chamber, I'm thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a great way to get to know us there at the chamber and find out some of the things that we can do for your business, especially where networking, where advocacy is concerned. We can be your voice in government. There are a lot of things we can do. One of the nice things too, this is a time to plug this if you don't mind. September 23rd, just a few days after that event, we have an event called Coffee Co-op, which is a free event open to anybody. And it's a business card type event where you come and you get 1 minute to make your pitch. Well, on the 23rd, it's going to take a little twist. We're going to have coffee co-op with the candidates. So think about this format. Business owners can come, make their 1 minute pitch, and the candidates, those up for general election, will have to listen to the voices of the business community pitch to them during that time.
Wow.
And after that's over, then the candidates that are there get their 1 minute.
1 minute?
1 minute, and we cut them off humorously. Let me tell you a little something about that. So the first time we did this is a fairly new event in this format. First time we did this with the businesses, they overshot the minute like crazy. But we found humorous ways to cut them off with puns and with, so we had a lot of laughs doing it. The next time we did it, everybody came in under a minute. What did that do? Well, they really sharpened their pitch.
Great.
It was a great exercise for them. And then the other day we had it, and everybody was coming in at 30 and 40 seconds. So, yeah, we're going to do the same thing with the candidates. 1 minute, 1 minute only. So they get to pitch why the business community should vote for them. Then when it's all over, the power of these events, Keith, is the meeting after the meeting.
Right.
So that's the part I love the most, is when the roar starts to happen of the people, hey, I need to meet you, or hey, let's get together, or in this case, the candidates getting to know the business owners and vice versa if they don't already.
Well, that's just another example of what I was saying earlier. There just isn't another organization that can weave different individuals together. I used to think of it differently maybe than some people. I always thought about the chambers, what the chamber did for me, maybe for our organization, was it created an environment that I was able to walk into and then do what I was supposed to do as a business. And that always kind of worked for us. Everybody has a different way of doing things, but I always love that the chamber creates environments and experiences that you can be a part of. And then that morphs into learning and morphs into so many different relationships. And so, I appreciate you do the things you do. And, we've all been kind of kicked around by things beyond our control. Possibly that part of it's probably a win, maybe. So maybe we should close with this. Let me ask you, I'm putting you on the spot a little. So when this is kind of, and I asked this of other people as well, when we look in the rear view mirror and we see COVID-19 back there, will there be anything that you've seen take place during this challenging time that may come out to be a positive in the end, that might be a takeaway that's been good? So it's not all been stiflingly bad. Is there something you think is going to stand out as a win for us to take away from all this?
That's a great question. As difficult as this has been for everyone, and we know there's been loss of life, we know there's been some people have been very sick, and there's been some businesses that have closed. Yeah. The one thing we do know is it's forced us to be innovative. It's forced us to find different ways and new ways to tell our stories, to talk about our products, to talk about our services, and to talk about our community. It's shown us that we can work together in ways that we hadn't imagined we could before. Right. I mean, this whole process that we're doing right now, sure. Zoom and some of the other StreamYard, right. We've been pushed to areas that a lot of us weren't necessarily comfortable with before. Yeah. Now we're starting to get pretty good at it,
It's a good thing. Those particular takeaways are a good thing. You guys have done a great job. I have not had to struggle as a business to find out what information you were putting out there. I appreciate what you do. I appreciate your leadership team, everybody you've got going on, the staff over there. So from a business, I'll take the opportunity just to say thank you to you, sir.
Thank you, Keith, and appreciate your support. You've been invaluable to us when even recently when I said, hey, I need to get the message out on a couple of things. You've been right there and helped me with that in a very professional manner. So thank you.
I'm glad to do it. It's an honor. So why don't you one final plug for the event, and we'll say good night.
Yeah, come be with us September 19th at OHP. Look on our website. You see the crawl down below as it's coming through there. Go visit our website. You can see exactly where to sign up and come and be a part of this. We're doing what we can to make you feel comfortable, and we look forward to seeing you then.
Well said, sir. And so again, I thank you. Appreciate your time. Hoping you have a great week. I'm sure I'll bounce into you somewhere through it. So be safe to you and your family. All right.
Thank you, Keith. Good night to you.
You as well. All right. Again, this is Keith with Positively Osceola, along with the president and CEO of the St. Cloud Chamber of Commerce, Dirk Webb. Together, we're making a positive difference in and around Osceola County. Have a good night, Dirk.
Good night, Keith.